let me get this straight. They did something wrong, and yet you're the one still suffering. You wake up with your jaw tight. You replay what they said over and over and over, and you find yourself imagining what you should have said. Oh, all the things that you could have said differently. What you could have done. What would have made them see or suffer or feel it. But they don't feel it. You do. And that is the trap. Anger makes you think you're doing something, that your outrage is some kind of leverage, that if you hold it long enough, if you keep the burn alive, it'll light a path toward justice. But it doesn't. Anger isn't a weapon, it's a weight that we carry. Well, more often than not, you're the one carrying it. I am too. I've carried that weight for years, and sometimes it made me feel strong, really strong. There were many times I'd walk into a room and I'd feel like I have every reason not to trust anyone, and I loved it. Every time someone got too close, my anger would flare up. I'd find reasons to be angry. Like, nope, no thank you. I've seen what people can do. I'm not falling for this again. And I told myself that that was strength, that I was protecting my peace. But really, I was protecting my wounds. And these are wounds that were left by people, other people that I was still angry at over all this time. And sure, some of those people did terrible things, right? They lied, or they left, or they betrayed me. They made me, question my worth, my instincts, maybe my sense of reality. But here's what's worse than what they did. What I kept doing to myself, because I kept reliving it. I kept feeding it. I kept naming it self-respect when really it was rage I didn't know how to put down. Because anger is complicated, and it's not that it's bad. It's not something to be ashamed of. And a lot of times it's valid. It's, sometimes completely justified. But anger is also addictive. There's this hit of adrenaline we get when we get angry. See red, and it feels so good to people like me. It gives me power. It gives me something to hold on to when everything else feels like it's slipped away. But that power, it's made of glass. You bleed just holding it. Now, I want to say something here that no one said to me when I was in it, or anytime I'm in it, and I'm in it sometimes. You are not weak for letting go of your anger. You are not forgiving the other person. You are just freeing yourself. And letting go doesn't mean excusing what happened. It means recognizing that your body, your brain, your soul can't run on rage forever. You can't keep holding your breath waiting for justice, expecting peace to arrive once they finally understand how badly they hurt you. Most of the time they won't. Sometimes they never even think about it again. That really stings, doesn't it? Like, you're over here obsessing and angry about something. You're still wounded, and they're just living. And meanwhile, you're still haunted by a moment that they barely remember. You're still held hostage by your own anger. That's the real betrayal. Not just what people did, but then how little it seemed to cost them. So it's time to take your power back. Not by demanding that they feel it, but by refusing to keep feeling it for them. I think most of us believe that our pain means something only if someone else validates it. So if they say sorry, if they admit that they were wrong, or if they come crawling back. But then that makes healing dependent on someone else's character, and that's too fragile. Your peace cannot be a hostage to someone else's growth. You deserve to heal even if they never understand what they did. You deserve to exhale even if they never apologize. You deserve to put it down even if they never pick up their side of the story. Here's the truth. Anger might keep you safe for a while. It might build walls up around you, but it will not build you a life. You don't build joy with bitterness, right? That makes no sense. You don't build intimacy by being suspicious all the time. You don't build up yourself by staying defined by what someone else broke. Letting go is not surrender. This has been a recurring theme in my life, in all aspects of my life. It is not surrender. It is evolution. It is the moment you say, I remember what you did. I know how much it hurt. I am not dragging this through the rest of my life like a chain. Not happening. You don't get to have that kind of power anymore. Not over my thoughts, not over my body, not over the story I keep repeating every time I close my eyes. Is it easy? No, definitely not. But it is necessary because you know what? What people don't tell you is that anger doesn't just live inside your head, right? It comes out in all these other ways. Maybe your jaw is tight, your gut, all of your gut health, your fist, the way you sleep, the way you talk to yourself when you make a mistake. It shows up in the way that you brace for betrayal, even when love shows up with open hands. We can't trust that. We're bracing for impact. And anger changes how you expect the world to treat you. And it makes you treat yourself the same way. So maybe you stop hoping Maybe you stop trusting. Maybe you stop believing in softness. You just tell yourself, I'm being realistic. But what you really mean is that you've given up on tenderness. You've given up on being safe. That's the collateral damage that no one sees, because you think you're protecting yourself with all that anger, but you're actually keeping yourself from you. This version of you that gets to feel light again. Where is that person? The one who didn't flinch at memories, right? The one who stops performing indifference and starts kind of practicing peace, maybe? And that version is not found through vengeance. Can't be. It's found through release. So you don't have to force forgiveness. You don't have to love the other person or whoever it is. You don't have to pretend that what they did to you doesn't matter. You just have to stop making yourself bleed to prove that it did. Because letting go isn't about pretending it didn't hurt. It's about deciding that hurt doesn't get to be the thing that defines you anymore. There is no closure like the kind that you give yourself. So here's what I would say to the angry version of me. You didn't fail by holding on, right? You were doing what you thought would protect you, but you don't need to do that anymore because you're safe. Let it go. Let it go, not for them. Who cares about them? But because you deserve peace. You deserve to stop rehearsing arguments in the shower. You deserve to sleep without dreams that end in confrontation because you're just spewing and overflowing and you want to get it out. And you deserve to tell a new story that doesn't start with what they did because your story is bigger than that. You're bigger than what happened to you. Your life is bigger than that. Anger cannot be the whole map. Maybe anger showed you where your wound was, right? But only grace can show you how to live past it. So let it go. Let it go, not as an act of forgiveness, but as an act of freedom. Let it go, not for them, but for your lungs, for your mind, for your future, for your ability to just finally live like the person you were meant to before that happened.